To get 15% off your purchase of $100 or more, go to modcloth.com and enter code BRAINCANDY.
Hi, Susie.
I wish there was welcome to episode 262.
Yeah, hi, friends.
I wish there was a way that we could not even see each other before we start recording. It
Right.
ruins everything.
It really does. I mean, not everything. Let's
Everything.
not be
It ruins my life.
The worst thing ever.
We can't resist talking about stuff.
What's the deal with us?
We
It's like we're like best friends or something.
I know we like talking to each other. We should have a podcast.
If that's the worst of our problems, that we just like talking to each other too much, I think we're pretty good.
We were talking about the newish documentary, Three Identical Strangers.
Oh my gosh. I think it's easily in my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
Me too.
Like easy.
Yeah.
Like I can even make it take up 2 spots in there too. It's like
2 spots.
Yeah. It's like second and fourth.
It's hilarious. Not even like in a row.
Right, no. Because who knows?
I have been wanting to see this film for a long time, and it finally is available for on demand on like Amazon Prime and iTunes to rent. But it's about these triplets that didn't know they were triplets until they were 19. And man, like all I had heard beforehand was you don't want it to be spoiled.
Yeah.
And that it just keeps getting weirder and crazier for the whole film.
The whole film. I mean, there were multiple times where I paused the movie to see how much longer was left. And I'm like, there's no way there's more. There's no way.
Yeah.
How could this I'm getting goosebumps right now as I'm talking about it, and they haven't gone away. And like,
how can we talk about it without ruining it for people who haven't seen it? Maybe we could talk about themes.
Yeah. Not about the half.
Well, the reason that I knew Sarah would like it is because it involves the questions of nature and nurture, of course, because
so important.
If you're triplets but you're not raised together, those questions come up, and what kind of family you're in versus your biology.
Yeah, and it was interesting that they found that the 3 boys just happened to be in upper, middle, and lower class families. Like they're just a spread across different like socioeconomic classes, and there's just really freaking interesting insight into that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then I was also, and this wasn't really the main point of the film, but just because we were on TV, there was for me an interesting component of what happens when your life story, your personal narrative becomes entertainment.
Yeah. And your personal narrative, often the part that becomes the narrative is a very small portion of who you are.
Right.
They don't capture the whole, it's not like, your personal narrative and it's, the story of your life that has it's a very
incomplete.
Very incomplete.
And it's also like that element of, so when they realized they were triplets, this was a big, interesting story for the talk shows and stuff. And they really enjoyed sharing their story because what wouldn't you?
Right.
I mean, if you suddenly discovered there were 3 of you and that you looked alike and you were adorable. One of the sweetest
parts was when one of the mothers said, when they all met up for the very first time, they rolled around on the floor and like wrestled like puppies who had just, found their litter mates.
Yeah.
And that is something that, like, they had a deep, deep knowledge that they were a trio.
And that's interesting to me. And then there's the component of the viewer, the voyeur watching the story unfold and wanting the story to be a particular way. And then kind of disregarding whether that's actually the true full story. And that's what I see, with reality TV and just, our own personal time on television. And so that part was interesting to me.
When the third one came along, it was so unbelievable to me that my brain almost couldn't even it was easier for me to think it was a hoax.
Oh.
The third one until the movie.
Had you not seen the trailer?
No.
Okay.
All I got was a text message from Susie that was like, you need to watch this. And the last time she did that to me, I like
didn't.
Well, and I had like a huge cathartic, like, release, and it was so amazing. And so I'm like, oh my God, I got to sit down and watch this right now. I don't have time to watch. We got no point in watching the trailer. Why do I need to do that? I got to dive right in.
Oh my
I
God.
literally watched it as
Not
soon as I got that.
anything.
Not knowing anything.
Okay.
And I was like, I was like, this has got to be a hoax. And because it was almost too much to even believe. And then when I was like, oh no, it's not a hoax. So then what's the twist? What's the deal? What's going to happen?
Yeah.
This can't be it.
Yeah. And then, of course, after I'm done with films, that's just the beginning. Because then I begin my deep dive on the internet.
I have to know. I have to know everything that you know.
I mean, I just felt, okay, from a viewer of the documentary, I wanted to know more about their family lives. Their wives. The kids were not in the film really. It was, you could tell they had at least one of them had a kid. But there was no discussion. They certainly weren't interviewed. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, well, I need to know about that kid.
I need to know more about the other people who were interviewed.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Me too.
I went on a little mini deep, a shallow dive, if you will.
Okay.
Of
yeah,
some
you
of the
and I
other
have
people.
different interests.
Yes. I was like, okay, got to know everything about this. Yes.
Anyway, you should watch it.
Oh my God, watch it. And then I don't know, I feel like we need to have some
right.
Brain
we need
Candy
a chat
Book Club,
room.
movie review thing.
Anyway, it was
So
great.
good. And then I went into class yesterday. I have a individual supervision with my supervisor for the therapy we do. Mm-hmm. And I was doing a presentation that day, and I'm like, oh my God, I got no sleep tonight. I really wish I was a little more clear thinking right now. And I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry because I had to stay up and watch this documentary. Oh my God. And I told her, and she was like, oh my God, it's amazing, right? I saw it in the theater. And I'm like, okay, see.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. And I'm like, and then I told everybody at my school, not everybody at my school. I told all the people in my office, was telling them all about it that morning. I'm like, here's the deal. It's $5.99 on Amazon. If you watch it and it's not one of the greatest movies you've ever seen, I will pay you that $5.99. I will give you the money.
And
I'll
if you get
reimburse
it in SD, it's $4.99.
$4.99 even. So I'll give you $5.99 even if you buy it in SD. Mm-hmm. So that's how good it is.
Yeah, it's mandatory viewing.
Mandatory.
Yeah. If you care about the idea of personal identity, what makes you who you are, and what can ruin a person, then you will like this film.
Or what are areas of resilience?
Yeah, well, that wasn't really featured as much.
Oh, that's kind of what I took away.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about that later.
Yeah.
Well, you're looking through rose-colored glasses on that one. One thing I do need glasses for is when I watch television. And lately I've been watching television using TiVo, which is so crazy because I was under the impression that TiVo was like your mom and dad's first situation where they were like, hey guys, we got a TiVo and now we don't have to use the VHS recorder. But TiVo all along through the TV journey has been updating and getting new features. And so I'm really excited because, as you know, I don't really know how to work my TV.
Right. And you don't even really,
I just don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so they set it up where it's like a no-brainer. And so not only can you... So you know how on a DVR you have to fast forward through commercials if you want?
Hate that.
This just push button and it skips.
Oh.
All of them. You don't have to time it right or anything. So it skips that, which I love. Then they have an app on your phone where if someone's like, oh, you should watch the new season of Will and Grace. And you're like, oh, okay. And then you go on your phone and you just push a button and then it'll record on your TV,
nice.
Which is amazing. And then they also have this feature where you know how some shows you want to watch but they have slow parts?
Yeah.
They have a feature where you can watch it 30% faster, but they pitch correct it so it doesn't sound like mice.
Are you kidding me? This would have been so good on, what's the show with the president? And then come on, not the West Wing.
House of Cards.
House of Cards.
Yeah.
There are so many. I'm like, do we really need to do a long scene of people driving in the... come on. Let's go.
I have a solution.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
I know. I'm going to get you hooked up with one because you're going to love it. TiVo's put together a deal for you guys too. 20% off any TiVo Bolt OTA or TiVo Bolt Vox, which one is for antenna. Some people like cut the cord, so all they have is like an antenna.
Yeah.
And then one is for cable. If you have, like me, a normal cable situation, you just aren't using it the way it should be used. Just head to TiVo.com/braincandy20. And remember, our promo code as well is BrainCandy20. That's TiVo.com/BrainCandy20 with promo code BrainCandy20 for 20% off. So these pioneers are back in biz. Can I tell you, though, a depressing story?
Oh, please do.
That has been on my mind in addition to the 3 identical strangers. I came across a video on YouTube from Oprah from 2000 of this guy who you may have heard of, but he... was also a twin, funnily enough, and he and his brother were getting circumcised. He had a botched circumcision.
Oh, I know this story. Yeah.
And then the doctors convinced the mom
to have him
to raise him as a girl.
Yeah.
So
we talk about this in sex therapy. This specific case.
He became like this. What do you call that when it's like a one person case study?
Case study. Yeah.
And. Okay, so the mom, it's 1965. Everybody just does whatever their priest or their doctor or whoever tells them. That's how it worked.
Yes.
So, okay, that's what we're supposed to do. Which I'm fascinated by that because especially back then, people thought boys were different than girls. What made them think like, this is going to work great?
I think they were thinking that, oh, God, maybe at that time the question of nature versus nurture really wasn't answered. And that if you just raised somebody as a
I don't
female?
know. I mean, to me, it's still like that, where they're like, girls are girls and boys are boys, and this is what they play with, and this is what they like. So back in 65,
so
I would
like
think
you can take an arm off, you can take a leg off, or you can take a penis off, you're still going to be a boy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm shocked that anybody was into this idea and convinced this mother to do it.
Gosh, so crazy.
So he's raised as freaking Brenda for his whole life until, they had to give him hormones to get breasts.
My God.
All
Can you
the
imagine?
terrible, terrible, terrible torture. And then at 13, the doctor's like, okay, we're going to make a vagina because he didn't have anything at that point.
These are the details that are left out of the books that we read. We talk, it's like more the...
clinical.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is the juice.
You should have me come in
Right.
and be like, here's what actually happened.
Yeah.
And so they're like, hey, we're going to make a vagina. And this 13-year-old boy, who's Brenda, is like, F you, ran up on top of the roof of the hospital, was like, if you try to make me be a girl anymore, I will kill myself, which of course you would do.
Yeah.
And so the mom was like, so we never went back. And
my God. Those are the details we need.
Yeah. So then they let him, be himself, and I think he ended up choosing the name David, but that wasn't his birth name, whatever. And so then he goes on Oprah to talk about it, and he had forgiven his mom, and he was like, she was damned if she did, damned if she didn't. Like, what was she just tried to do what she was best. And I got real into this darn clip. And then
You did the deep dive.
Damn it!
I know, because the one part detail that I happen to know about the end of that story is, the end of that story.
Yeah, so he ended his life in, I think, 2002. And I mean, what the heck? Why am I finding all this stuff? It's terrible. But I was really distraught.
Yeah.
And I just thought, how could he? And he also had depression in his family. And of course, if you're predisposed to depression and then suffer this incredible pain.
Yeah, and a really traumatic childhood where your identity is so...
He didn't fit in anywhere.
Anywhere.
He did end up getting married. He was married for 14 years. And she must have been a lovely woman because she said he was very hard to live with us, you would imagine.
Oh, gosh. So much pain.
Yeah, but I thought, my God, what a story and what people endure. So that was crazy. And I was looking him up to see, like, wonder what he's doing now. Like,
thinking that he's going to be a public speaker or whatever, or even just have a nice, happy life.
Well, because that's the other thing is for some people, they might be able to do that.
But also, we've come a long way, and there's still a long way to go. But even in the past 10 years. Mm-hmm. So you look at 2002, and there wasn't a transgender person on television.
Yeah.
There wasn't anybody he wasn't
I mean, he wasn't even a trans person.
Right. He was just a victim of a horrible situation.
A mistake, right.
Yeah.
And I just can't believe it all went down. And that's why, to be honest, the Three Identical Strangers film and then that story, and you see like the ways that the medical field can go awry. Uh-huh. And when it does, it can ruin lives. It's really a sad situation.
Okay. You got something for me?
I was just going to switch gears because it's so depressing.
Well, I was going to tell you a wonderful story about how medical field saved a life.
Let's hear it.
By inventing a new tool to remove a dildo out of somebody's butt.
What? Wait, a tool?
Yeah.
Was there a need for this?
Oh, yes, there was.
Okay, tell me everything.
So there was a hospital in Milan, at the AAST Grand Hospital in Milan, and they had a patient who came in who had a 23-inch plastic penis dildo up his bum.
Wait, you would think since it was so long that...
Nope, it was all the way in there, and they couldn't get it out. And they said in the report it couldn't be removed.
How could you fit that much in there?
They have an x-ray. And I've already, poor Dahlia, because I've already emailed her this article. And I titled it, Invention of New Tool. And then it's just the link. So poor thing is I haven't pressed send yet.
I am freaking dying. That is the best part of this story. My niece Dahlia.
New tool invented. For the removal of another tool.
Sarah.
What? What?
Sarah,
Should I give her some heads up?
No.
I shouldn't.
I'm stuck on the story.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you're telling me this was a man who put a 23... I can't believe they even make 23-inch dildos. Mm-hmm. That's unnecessary. But anyway, he put it up his butthole. Mm-hmm. Too far.
Yes, I'm going to show you the X-ray.
I can't believe let me see what I'm looking at here. Mm-hmm. Oh my God! Sarah!
Oh my God, your reaction is so much better than anything I could have ever hoped for. It looks like she might cry. Her mouth is wide enough to fit the dildo.
Sarah, stop. This is the craziest story I've ever... Oh my good, sweet Jesus on a cracker. Oh no. How at inch 20 did he
That's a really good point. I'm thinking that there had to have been something else. There was clearly this was an accident. But
this is not a dildo stuck. He was impaled.
Yeah. Ugh.
He self-impaled.
What are they doing in Italy?
Right?
Well, wow. So, anywho, they created... They called it an endoscopic extraction of the device.
I'm surprised they didn't just have to do surgery.
It caught the distal edge of the dildo, and they created this new guide wire lasso that now has been, as a new medical invention.
Guide wire lasso.
Yes.
Oh, God.
And now they're saying, this is it says, in addition to advancing the field of foreign body removal, this tale has a happy ending for the patient. He was able to return home the same day as the extraction and suffered no lasting symptoms. According to the report, he wrote the physician a thank you note expressing his appreciation that they could solve this embarrassing problem without an operation.
Sarah, come on.
I just report the news.
What an idiot. I need to talk to this clown. That is stupid.
All right, what is he doing?
What was that going to do for you, sir?
That's a good point.
I think you misunderstand where the good parts are.
Right.
Because let me explain, since you aren't looking at the picture, you guys, that end of, like the head of the dildo was up behind the ribs, like by your breast, by his breastbone. Mm-hmm. Now I need a lot of therapy, and luckily I can call or I can text the people at Talkspace to help me cope with this disgusting picture and news I just heard about. Oh my God. Talkspace is an online therapy company, which is so awesome because a lot of people are either shy to go to a therapist in person or, have difficult schedules to work around or, just like want to have things on call available whenever. And Talkspace allows you to message a licensed therapist from anywhere at any time. You can get them app or you can use your computer, and it allows you to improve your mental health even if you've had trouble making time for it in the past. And, people are busy, and therapy can be pricey as well.
Yes, sure can.
And sometimes you just need something to get it off your chest, or you just want maybe a bit of encouragement.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, that you don't have to talk about your childhood memories if you don't want. You could just ask them about how to manage your stress or live a better life.
Get quick answers to some of
life's
daily problems.
Yes. The Talkspace platform has over 2,000 licensed therapists who are experienced in addressing life's challenges we all face. To match with a perfect therapist for a fraction of the price of traditional therapy, go to Talkspace.com/braincandy and use the code BRAINCANDY to get $45 off your first month and show your support for this show and therapy. That's BrainCandy and Talkspace.com/BrainCandy. I am going to need them now. OMG. On a lighter note. Wait. Okay. This is about the new emojis.
Oh!
Did you see them yet?
No. I know we've been talking about these.
They're on the way.
Okay.
I think there's 90 in total.
Whoa, that's a lot.
I will look and see if I can quickly pull up the pictures, but here's some good news.
Yeah.
Redheads are going to get representation.
Oh.
Finally.
Was that not in
No.
there? What?
And one of our listeners wrote and was like, you guys talk all the time about emojis and you never mention that there's no redheads.
What? How is that even possible?
Isn't that stupid?
That seems like, well, I guess they're only like, 1% of the population?
Yeah, but
1% of the population needs,
There's broom.
I was going to say still no cleaning products, but you just said broom, so I'm very happy about that.
The blue shoe we talked about, the flat, is there.
Approved.
And my personal favorite.
White wine.
Salt.
Oh my God, salt.
Is
I should
white
see
wine
it's
on
front
there?
and center.
Have a look. See if white wine's on there. I didn't even notice.
I don't
I'm
see
super
it.
excited about the salt. There's a bagel for you Jews out there who are feeling left out, or for anyone.
You non-Jews who absolutely love bagels like
Gentiles.
me. A raccoon.
What else is on there that catches your eye?
An amoeba, like a weird sciencey amoeba looking thing. A magnet. I feel like I'll use a magnet a lot. That's very
calling our
useful.
name. That's very useful.
A little, like a sponge. I don't know about, soap, toilet paper. Toilet paper, definitely useful. Yep, a receipt. A flying frisbee. I could have done without that.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, a compass looking thing, but like a handheld compass. Some lettuce. A badger? It's not a skunk. It's definitely a badger.
A badger.
Yeah.
Honey badger don't give a shit.
Yeah. This one looks like it doesn't give a shit either.
Let me see that again.
He's in the corner right under the
That
X.
was a hoax or something.
No white wine, huh? Kendall Jackson just didn't really.
They didn't come through for us.
Yeah, didn't get enough.
I love how you said that that's an amoeba.
What is it?
It's the double helix.
No, it's not. Look in the
up
top
there.
corner.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, I know what that is. Yeah.
I thought you'd be excited with a lobster.
Oh.
Because, you
I do.
have weird things.
I do. Now I'm going to have to find more lobster facts so that I can, when I post about the episode, put the lobster emoji in it.
There's a cupcake. Peacock. I'm glad there's a peacock. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
A male peacock, so,
Yeah, that's right. What else is new?
I wonder if you, click on it and, it gives you the option of the female.
Right. Good point.
Yeah. When are they fixing my direction problem, though?
Well, I think that's a lifetime of pain you're going to deal with.
I was also looking at, thinking of the direction thing. I was sending a message to Landon, and I was looking for the emoji where it's like the girl giving a kiss to the guy, or like the girl and guy kissing.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you look at that, it looks like the guy's giving the kiss to the girl because he's like first, even though they're kissing each other. I don't know. For some reason, I wanted a picture of like a girl kissing a guy's cheek, or something like that. And
like she's leaning in.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah. Well, we're getting real picky, I guess.
I know, it's ridiculous.
And by we, I mean Sarah.
I agreed. It's dumb.
What else did I want to talk about? A lot of stuff.
Me too.
What? What do you want to talk about?
Like, I think I have another story that'll blow your mind.
Oh, God.
It's not like a dildo story, but you know how we have certain feelings about gender reveal parties?
Yeah. Negative ones.
Yeah. I'm going to make you hate them even more, or at least like...
How is that possible?
So...
oh, my God.
I want to find where this was. So,
the forest fire.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
They, like, set the forest on fire. Why was there fire involved in a gender reveal?
So somebody who worked for the forestry had set up a gender reveal situation where they're shooting a barrel or something filled with a combustible material. I think they didn't realize just how combustible. And it was supposed to reveal either blue or pink, like dust. And when they did it, it exploded everywhere and is the reason why, what is the name of that fire? I should have freaking had it.
It was a big deal.
It's huge. I have it.
I pray that no one died, right? No one died, right?
I don't think anybody died, thank God. But there's nothing's really good news, but he did report it. Oh, he was a border patrol agent.
Yeah, he was like someone who should know better.
The sawmill fire. It burned 47,000 acres in Arizona. And as soon as it happened, he reported himself, turned himself in. He pled guilty. It's to a misdemeanor violation, I guess. And it says that he has to pay more than $8 million in restitution, starting with a $100,000 initial payment and monthly payments thereafter.
Come on.
I mean, you're done. You're like, you don't. How could you ever do that?
Well, you can't. That's what makes me think it's like not real.
Right.
Like it's like just on paper.
But then it's almost, oh God, it's like jail without your freedom.
Let me guess, the baby was a boy.
Oh, that's a good question. I didn't even see that in the article.
They probably don't know.
They probably didn't even, they left that out.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it said he has not revealed the gender of his baby.
After all that!
Oh my God. What if it's a girl and he's like, I just was so upset.
Right, probably. Yeah. Loser.
Oh my God.
So my thing
I was really mad about that.
I mean, to each their own. And like, if you're super into gender reveals, like whatevs, there's bigger issues in the world. But I don't like it because I don't really want to celebrate anyone's gender, but also because to me, it feels like the ultimate of like, my life is so important and everyone should celebrate every part of my life. Mm-hmm. When it's like, that really to me is like something you and your partner should be interested in. No, why should I give a shit what you're having?
I really thought about this when I was listening to, the interview you had with the woman who wrote that book that I love. What's her name?
Marley
Grace. And she said that you just need to do something outside with people you love and not tell anybody about it. And it's like I think it's the announcement and recognition culture that we've created or started or whatever. Like it's just taken a life of its own.
Okay, so you think that's what it is about?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's wanting to
document it.
Or more like wanting it. Oh, it's so weird to explain. It almost like makes it seem more significant if a whole bunch of people then, there's something about having a life on social media.
Yeah.
Like, would you even have one of those parties if you weren't on social media?
Right.
Probably not.
Right.
Because you'd have no.
What would be the point?
Mm-hmm. So then it makes you think, okay, well, then what is the point? If you wouldn't have that party if you weren't on social media, is the point of the party just so you can put it on social media? That's kind of fucking backwards.
Well, right, but it's pervasive. Like, that's what everyone does all the time. It's not just baby reveals.
Yeah. Well, I think we need to take a look at that.
I know you are.
Yeah.
Like, you think about this all the time.
I realize how it's like really unhealthy.
I was laughing about how you hate social media, but then like when you post a picture, everyone's like, she's so pretty. I love her. She's amazing. I worship her. And I was like, what part do you hate exactly?
It's not the
bitch?
wonderful things that people say that it does things to me. It's the social comparison and feeling like if you know.
Yeah, but they're probably comparing themselves to you and they're like worshiping you.
Yeah, but everybody's doing that to everybody. And I compare myself to you and worship you and look at your pictures. I'm like, God, you're so beautiful.
Well, maybe it's the fact that I'm wearing ModCloth clothing.
That probably is it.
I think that's it. Fall's in full swing, and ModCloth has all kinds of fun sweaters, cute knits, lots of outerwear that you can wear in your pictures that Sarah will envy. Or you can prep for your holiday party. They have like a party boutique, which is cute. Because I never know what to wear to holiday parties. I'm like, should I go festive?
I always
classic?
I always say, the more dressed up, the better.
You can't be overdressed.
Can't be overdressed,
I agree
especially
with
at
that.
a holiday party. Bring on the sequins.
Yeah. And they have a full range of sizes from XXS to 4X, which is wonderful. They have models of various sizes as well, so you can see what they look like on someone maybe who looks like you. And what's the last thing I got on there? I have got a couple sweaters because I'm like feeling fall, even though it's still warm here.
I got a jumper.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, like a black
That's
jumpsuit,
fun.
and I wear it to work, and it's so cute.
Oh, that's cute.
And my friend Kristen, who told me, and I will pass this information along to you, that anything that you like on ModCloth, like you favorite it or put a little heart on it or whatever you do, enters you in a $500 shopping spree.
Wow, that's fun.
Yeah. She like showed it to me. She's like, oh my gosh, I have so many entries because I like so much stuff.
To get 15% off your purchase of $100 or more, go to modcloth.com and enter Brain Candy at checkout. The offer is valid for one-time use only and expires on January 5th, 2019. To get 15% off your purchase of $100 or more, go to modcloth.com, modcloth.com, and enter code BRAINCANDY at checkout. All right.
Okay, I have to share a story of how I stopped being polite.
Oh, good.
Yeah, get ready for this one.
Okay.
So it was just yesterday. I was walking to the bagel shop that I love across the street, walking across the crosswalk, and with me was we weren't together, but we were both crossing the street at the same time. This really beautiful, like busty, like wearing tight clothes, this woman who's like gorgeous, and me in my work clothes walking next to her, probably not looking half bad either. And as we cross the street, there's this construction worker, and I know exactly what a phone looks like when you're being videotaped. And you bet your ass he was videotaping us. Probably mostly her.
Were you just walking?
Just walking across the street. But it felt so like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, it felt invasive, and I can just tell, and he was like trying to be all sneaky about it, like holding it down, but like obviously.
Oh,
and
my
then so I
God.
walked close enough to where I could look over my shoulder to double check that he was in fact videotaping, and he was. And so I walked by, and I was like, I can't deal with this. This feeling is just eating me inside. I have to say something or do something. So I got my phone out and I opened up my freaking camera, and you bet your ass I walked right over to him, and I was like, I just wanted to make sure we both have pictures of each other. And I snapped a picture of him, and he was like, I was just answering a phone call. Fuck you. No, you weren't, you dickhead. So I didn't say that. So then I just like walked into the bagel shop, got my bagel, and then I came out, and he like saw me coming. And let me tell you, I was still having that like churning feeling of uncomfortable stuff until I saw him turn into a little fucking baby and basically like find something like for himself to do. Like he like adjusted something that he didn't even need adjusting, like in order to have to like avoid eye contact with me or even like anything that I would say. And I watched him do this, and I'm like, I know exactly what you're doing. You fucking like, I want to call him the P word, but I feel like that's gendered and don't want to do that. But I was just like, ugh, okay, you know what? That was because he turned into like this little wussy, like.
Do you have the picture of it?
Yeah, I sure do. I walked right into school, and I was like, guess what I just did? And this guy thinks he's going to be like this.
Well,
and
what is he going to... Oh, my...
And he like
smiled
smiled, but he like uncomfortable. Like he was like, and then he pretended to talk on his phone. I'm like, you're not even talking to anybody. fucking idiot.
Sarah, that picture, I would frame it.
Right.
That is the best picture I've ever
That's
seen.
hashtag stop being polite.
Wow.
Yeah, and I did it. And I felt so good when I saw him feel so uncomfortable with how I confronted it.
What is he even going to do with a video of
that's
two
what I said.
women
What are you going to do,
walking
like jerk off to it? Because this woman had like really big boobs and she was really curvaceous and like
What
wearing
was she
tight
wearing?
clothes.
Oh, tight clothes.
Yeah. I mean,
Damn.
it wasn't like she was wearing anything she just happened to have a body like Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah.
And she was wearing tight black jeans and a tight black top.
Do you think she noticed?
No.
Yeah.
And then I felt like I was defending all women everywhere because
Yeah.
I'm like, I know you weren't videotaping me, but I know exactly what you were doing to her. What are you going to do? Whatever he's going to do with that, I don't like. And the fact that he thinks that he just has access to women's bodies where he gets to videotape them at any time he wants and then fucking jerk off to it later? Come on.
That's sick.
Wow.
I'm not happy.
Yeah. I'm just mad because nobody's jerking off to his photo.
Well, that's for sure.
For sure.
That guy.
Anyways.
I read about this loft, speaking of your Instagram hatred, that you can rent for $15,000 a month.
Whoa.
And it's designed for influencers to use.
Oh, for goodness sake. So, like, lighting is perfect everywhere.
Everything is
Oh
like
my God.
just like all those images.
Yeah.
Like because they're all the same
Totally.
too. Like everyone's house looks the same to me.
Yeah.
And they all have the same.
Oh my God. They all have that Prada sign where it's like the Milan with the arrow of like how many miles. Everybody knows it. Or it's like the Chanel bottle in a picture frame. It's so basic.
Everybody, and this one has the future is female, right? And they have like a 4-poster bed with like faux fur throw on
Yep.
it, and then like
Shearling throw. I know exactly the one.
tray for them to eat like whatever, coffee in bed or whatever. And like everything is set up. There's a rooftop situation, the bathroom, and it's created by this, I guess, PR company. And then an influencer that has, I don't know, like certain sponsors that they then have to create images for, and they don't know what to do. Like if they live in a normal New York apartment, so then they have to rent out this space to make the images so they can get paid.
I mean, really all this is doing is it's like classic advertising. We're just we're just using real people instead of an ad agency. You know, I mean, this is no different than if you needed to promote something, like whatever, you're promoting Diet Coke, and you would like go to the ad agency and say, I want this commercial, and they would hire these, or, I want this printout, and they would hire these models, and they would go there, and they'd set it all up.
Do you prefer that? Do you find that to be more authentic or something?
That's a really interesting question. Because part of me is like, yeah, I prefer that because it's like saying what it is, not like projecting an image that
life is perfect.
Or that these people, like, we're all aware that, Coca-Cola's behind the ads and that they're picking out those people and it's all like that. But I don't think people are as aware when it's hidden in lives of people that are Instagram influencers.
I mean, we've talked about it before because people often begrudge us whenever we have a partner that we're promoting, and they get annoyed and they say that like they just want a free podcast with like no interruptions.
But that would be like saying I just want a free television show with no interruptions.
I know, it makes no sense to me.
Because like this is media where there's like an understanding that the same way when I watch television, like I'm watching American Horror Story, I'm like, oh, enough.
Yeah, that's why that's why you need TiVo.
Right. There you go. Exactly.
Right. I get the impulse. Like nobody likes to be sold anything. That's like a universal human thing.
Totally.
But nobody also likes. Remember, I told you that Rhonda lady said our greed was unbecoming of us or whatever.
So stupid.
And I thought, what if she went to her job, and somebody said that to her, like, I can't believe you're working. That is so greedy. Because that is the exact thing that she's saying to me. Right. Oh. And so that's a fascinating thing for me because it's a balance. Yeah. But do you feel like it's different on Instagram? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because it would be like if television were TV shows, and then in between, like, I don't know, home videos that people posted, it would be like one thing, because you'd be like, oh, well, sometimes there is and sometimes there isn't. What the heck is that about?
Yeah.
But because we know this is the format, this is how it is.
This is how they make their living. Yeah.
On Instagram, that is all blurred.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
go on there and it's like, okay, I know what I'm going to see. I'm going to see baby pictures and first day of school photos from my friends who, have kids. And then all of a sudden you're like getting advertised to. I don't know. It just seems.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of people agree.
Yeah, but
I just hate how they all look the same.
Yeah.
I like a little variety.
that's what it's like. They all look the same. It's like Abercrombie commercials. It's like all that stuff. Everybody looks the same. It's not like we're doing anything different.
Yeah.
We're just changing it from
be honest-
print to,
That was one of the things I really liked about the original seasons of our shows is that like they had people that looked a little different. They'd never really had larger people, which I think is a problem. But
people who were not able-bodied or
yeah, usually they didn't.
who.
They did have a wheelchair gal.
Oh,
Or
really?
no, they didn't. I take that back. It was Lacey dating a wheelchair guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, one thing I have no problem promoting whatsoever is the Quip toothbrush.
Yeah.
Have you tried it? You should. It's so great, and it looks so cute in my bathroom, and I feel like it does a really good job brushing my dang teeth.
It sure does.
It sure does.
I keep mine in my work bag
Okay.
as my.
Well, because the thing that you put it on your mirror with, you can use as the cap when you travel.
Oh yeah,
Sarah.
and I just keep it in my like little go bag because it's a freaking 16 hours at the office. You need to brush your teeth.
You really do. I
Some
mean,
point during that day.
please, for cripe's sake.
Too long.
It has a built-in 2-minute timer, and then it pulses every 30 seconds, so you know when to switch sides. Like I said, it has that cover that mounts to your mirror, or you can unmount it. It doesn't stick like normal stuff. You can take it right off and put it back on, whatever. And then brush heads are automatically delivered to you every 3 months for $5. And that's why I love Quip. And why they're backed by 20,000 dental professionals. Quip starts at just $25, and if you go to getquip.com/braincandy, right now you get your first refill pack for free with a Quip electric toothbrush. That's your first refill pack free at getquip.com/braincandy. Love it. I love you with all my heart.
And your clean ass teeth.
Every time I go to the dentist, though, they have to like fix whatever my old dentist did,
What do you mean?
Like when I was a kid, I must have had like a quack.
Oh.
And they're always like, yeah, that filling is like chipping away.
Oh.
And she said the word leaking.
That's not something
Mercury,
you ever want to hear.
or whatever the hell is in.
No, you don't still have mercury in your mouth.
Yes, because they're silver from when you're the 80s. That's
Yeah,
what
but
they
you're
put.
supposed to like get those taken out and put new stuff back in or something.
Well, it's controversial, but she did take it out.
Oh,
But
is it controversial?
yeah, because some people think it's like asbestos as long as you don't disrupt it.
Oh my God.
But if it's leaking,
Yeah,
Pete
that's like
Saki.
not something you would like in your mouth.
she goes, it's leaking, and I'm like, what's leaking? That is a word I do not want to hear
No.
with anything that's been put in my body.
That is so funny.
And true.
Yeah.
Have you heard about?
Just
Changing-
anything related to the body in general, leaking is probably not.
Have you ever heard of the diagnosis of a leaky gut? It's like the grossest. I'm pretty sure it just means like sharding.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Anyway, let's change the subject. Did you hear about these rings that people are buying as engagement rings that the stone is, it's really weird. It's called a smog-free ring. Okay. And they put 100,000 gallons of pollution into this tiny box.
Oh, yeah, I did hear
heard?
this.
It's crazy. They're really pretty.
And it makes like a diamond.
Yeah, it looks like a gem.
Yeah.
And if you like opened it and inhaled it all, it would shorten your life by 6 to 8 years. Like that's how much pollution is in this tiny little ring. They're just able to like, they have these boxes around the world that clean
my
the
God.
air. And then they take the stuff from the box and they like somehow siphon it into these little thingy, and it creates a gem.
How much does this cost?
It's only $290.
Okay, then it is the thing that I heard, but I didn't hear all that detail because I was like, all I saw was like diamond ring or engagement ring made from
dirt
or something like that, and then I was just shocked at the price, but I didn't hear all the details.
It's really pretty. I'm into it.
I'd be super into that too.
The funny thing is, you can pick the city.
Oh my god!
I don't know why that.
I love
tickles me.
Yeah, I want Smog from Rome made into.
Do you?
A ring. I don't know, just be like a cool. Just because we talked about the birds there and everything, I feel like there's like probably some cool nature stuff.
I like how it's so affordable.
Yeah. Yes. No joke.
Yeah. I mean, people waste a lot of money on those
it's
dumb
a really
rings.
good. I mean, you're sucking pollution out of the air. Mm-hmm. What's the where's the downside to any of this?
No, it's awesome.
It's all great. I want to see that ring.
Yeah, it was in the New York Times. I'll
That
put
is
it in the
really
newsletter.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I thought, well, that's a clever little idea because they have these, I guess you'd call them filter boxes. They're really big. And they're around in different cities to filter the air. And I guess somebody was like, hey, can I have some of that smog?
Oh, my God. Well, I guess they say, like, you know, it's carbon, right? Like all those kind of things.
Yeah.
They just
that's
it down.
how they decided. The person that decided to do it was like saying whatever it is that's in there eventually turns into a diamond.
Yeah.
I guess it's carbon or whatever you said. And I never really knew that. So that's cool.
That's really cool.
But speaking of pollution, I read this study. Also, this one was actually in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and it was about how umpires' performance is correlated with how much pollution is in the city that day.
What?
So the pollution in that city affects their ability to tell whether it's a strike or a ball or whatever.
Oh my God.
Isn't it crazy?
What can we think of? What can we infer from that?
We can infer that being in polluted areas is very bad for your cognitive abilities.
Yeah.
And
well, is that what they were able to say? Like, does that have something to do with the chemicals impairing your cognitive ability? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And it's the same that they've found it with agricultural workers, like that are out in pollution all day. And then when they're tested, they are like not as sharp.
Oh my gosh.
But somebody must have been like, I'm going to see what the hell's going on with these umpires. Someone mad at sports.
Wow.
But I guess it makes sense. But who would think of that?
So if you take that same umpire and you put him in another city.
Yeah, on a different day. It's okay.
Okay, so the effects are not...
They might be cumulative.
Okay.
But...
God.
Right. Because, that makes sense,
We should all be walking around with gas masks.
Well, do you know how you always see Asian people with those things?
Yes.
And I always think, what are they doing?
And now they're the freaking smartest ones. That's why they're... Come on.
Why do
like
they do it?
It's like the oldest civilization. Like...
We don't listen.
Yeah.
Whitey's stupid
right. And now
again.
we're over here like, you know what's really great? Acupuncture. They're like, we know. We know.
It's really great. Right. But I always see them like on planes and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, we know there's germs, but could you knock it off with that thing?
I wore one of those all the time when I was pregnant because I was so sensitive to smells.
Shut up.
I couldn't go to the nail salon. I couldn't go in grocery stores because I went to the grocery store and walked past 2 aisles away from the meat section, and I vomited 4 times in the grocery store
It's not funny,
one time.
but it is.
Like in one visit.
That is terrible.
I'm like, this is awful because I was so sensitive to the smells of things.
And so that little piece of fabric did the trick.
Mm-hmm.
I
did the fabric, and then I put orange, sweet orange oil on the inside of it, so that when I inhaled, I would only smell the orange because it was the only smell that made me not puke.
I cannot believe you did that, and you were not embarrassed.
I was
never
mortified.
told me.
I was also starving. It's like I need food, and I also really need a pedicure.
So you wore one while you got a pedicure, and did anyone?
I feel like of all the people who are going to be understanding,
I just. Did they ask you about it?
No, not a single question.
They're so tolerant.
Yeah.
They're like, we know what you mean.
Yeah. She's
Did
like,
they
same,
have
but
them on?
different.
Stop it. That's insane. I cannot believe that. I promise you, I would rather puke all day.
We are very different.
I think.
After 37 times, Suze,
Maybe not.
I was so done puking.
I
was
probably
like,
wouldn't
I'm
care about
so
a pedicure.
done.
I probably wouldn't.
I cared about it so. It was like
Okay.
oh God,
Sarah, I'm
it
writing
was
this
so
down.
bad.
Sarah's, what would you call that?
Wow.
Hygiene mask?
Yeah.
Well, like, where'd you get that, on Amazon or what?
No, you know what happened is I had been throwing up so much that I was so dehydrated and I couldn't even stand up that I had to take myself to the ER. And when I was at the ER, it was flu season, and I was so terrified of everybody. I was like, the last thing I want to do is get the flu. Like, so I had a mask over my face. And I'm like, oh, this is lovely. And so I just stole 3 more, and I kept it in my glove box.
Meanwhile, like, if you know how they charge you like $100 for a Band-Aid at the ER?
That bill was $275, and
You didn't even get seen by a doctor.
I didn't get seen. I walked in, and I was like, I can't take this. This is too many sick people. All they did was take my vitals, like my blood pressure, and then they said, would you like a blanket? Because I was like freezing, and I said, sure, and they never even brought me the blanket, and it was still $275.
Wow.
Did not even get seen, didn't get one thing done.
Did you fight it? You can get your money back.
We did. We fought it. It was like, I think we brought it down to like $80 or something like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was still, I was just like, are you kidding me?
It's so backwards.
This is insane. You did nothing. I waited, because I waited for 3.5 hours. I was like done waiting. I'm like, I can't even wait here anymore. I'm going to get sick. There are people puking everywhere. It was flu season when it was really bad.
This is a real special episode. We've covered a lot of things. Although I did forget to mention when we were talking about emojis. You know how like the emojis on the other kind of phone that's not Apple?
Yeah.
I guess those are,
what do they call it? Androids.
Yeah. They have like weird emojis. Remember, like people were mad because the cheeseburger had the cheese under the meat.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Like it's like dollar store, so like knockoff stuff.
Yeah. Well, they did it again because they made a salad emoji, but then they put like slices of hard-boiled egg in the salad, which I know a lot of people eat that. But like of all the ingredients in a salad, it had lettuce, tomato, and hard-boiled egg. And so then the vegans were mad.
Oh, for goodness sakes!
But
it's a chef salad.
I understand.
Or chopped salad. What do they call those? Yeah, chef salad. Yeah.
But come on, that's like not one of the core ingredients.
You could have put croutons.
Or anything.
Or
cucumber.
Pepper. Anything.
A lot of different vegetables out there.
It doesn't even, just put like little squiggly orange things. Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares?
The
well,
vegans.
Apparently vegans, yeah.
But like, I do enjoy a hard-boiled egg, as you know. But
so good.
I think they had a valid point on that one. Because if you're a vegan and you want to use the damn app or the emoji.
I agree with that.
And then you're like, oh, great.
I feel like people will still understand the message you're sending. Nobody's going to be like, oh, you're not a vegan anymore because you use the egg emoji.
I just think, like, I wonder who's on the team of emoji people on the Android side of things. Because we've heard a lot about the Apple team, and a lot goes into it.
Yeah.
I think they're a little more loosey-goosey.
Yeah, maybe we should try white wine over there.
Yeah, they probably have, like, a whole bar.
Yeah. Like, we have every cleaning supply you ever want available, Sarah.
If your emojis were really good, I would consider switching to it.
If your runner were running in the right direction. What if that were it? They're just all mirror images. Like, the runner's going the right direction. They're flipped. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Let me think if I have one more thing before we go. I guess I'll stick with the Instagram theme. Because somebody from the New York Times went to all those places that, like, the Color Factory.
Yes.
And the Ice Cream Museum.
Yes, I've been to all those.
There's one now that's for pizza.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a pizza museum.
Yeah. Not as into that. I really want to eat it. I'm not less interested in looking at it.
Or taking pictures with pepperoni
Totally.
and stuff.
And it's a limited color palette.
And then they have one for dogs. Where
I'm for that.
You can get pictures with dogs and stuff. Anyway, it was talking about this weird phenomenon that is a response to the Instagram movement where people want to go places where they can take pictures more than they want to go to like a real museum.
Oh my God, it's so dumb.
Because the picture opportunities aren't as good there and they're not as colorful and things like that. And so she described it in this way, which I thought was accurate. What do you think? She said that these museums create facsimiles of experiences.
Because I'll be honest, when we went to the Color Factory, that was probably my least favorite part of our trip to San Francisco.
True.
And the least exciting, the part where I felt like we were kind of like doing a job or like going through.
Well, that's because it was for the podcast,
Yeah,
though,
that's
and we
true.
wanted pictures to promote the show.
Yeah.
But why do most people go? Like, if I didn't have this show, I would not have gone to any of those things.
It was fun to go to the Museum of Ice Cream, but it was fun with kids.
Yeah.
And they didn't really care about the picture. In fact, they were really frustrated when we were like, pose more.
It is weird when you go, though, because you are surrounded by people taking selfies, and you start to see how gross it looks.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing was I was with a group of people who were like medium interested, and my husband who's not interested, and in that group, even in an environment that was designed for taking pictures, I felt embarrassed doing it.
Yeah, I did too at the Color Factory.
that
I was
weird?
like, well, this is awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm. And like, I feel like most people are real comfortable with it.
Yeah.
They also have a museum of like rosé. So it's
I'm okay
like
with that.
a lot of pink and
Yeah,
bubbles
yeah.
and stuff that's only even tangentially associated with rosé. It's not as if
Right.
it's exactly about rosé. It's more about this other idea of what it represents.
I think the right thing to do or the good idea here is to somehow integrate like this Instagrammy like picture taking world with more art. And I feel like some of them do that. Like the Museum of Ice Cream, I think, did that. They had like this section. It was like every room has a different color, and it was like the black ice cream and licorice and all that kind of stuff. And they had some really cool pieces of art, like this like sculpture of the David with an ice cream cone on his head, kind of dripping over his face. And I thought that was cool.
Well, and they said in the article that a lot of museums are wising up and creating more of a photographic opportunity for people that do go to the real museum, which I think
like
is
that.
a nice
That's
idea.
what they have to do. LACMA, is it?
Yeah.
Is doing that, and I love it. My
Yeah.
aunt's a docent there, so everybody should go and get a tour.
A docent?
Yeah.
I don't know that word.
Like an art docent?
I've never heard of that.
What?
What is it? How
It's
do you
like
spell
a guide.
it?
DOCENT, docent.
Oh, with a T. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Thanks.
I love learning.
Am I saying that wrong?
No, I have no idea.
Well, let's double check.
You think because I don't know it must be wrong?
Well, yeah, isn't that weird?
That's
like
terrible.
that's how like, but I like absolutely know that that's a word. I'm just taking a long.
Why
time
do they
about it.
call it that?
I think it's like all because. I mean, because a tour guide isn't really
It's not
the
enough.
word because it's not like you're.
It's inadequate.
Yeah, you
Okay.
need like it, and also the people who do this are really
Knowledgeable.
Yes, a member of a teaching staff immediately below professor rank. A person who acts as a guide, typically on a voluntary basis in a museum, art gallery, or zoo.
Cool.
And I spelled it right too. Yeah.
Look, I wasn't judging you.
No, I know that. I was merely doubting myself because I'm like, you are a knowledgeable human being, and I was like, oh my god, have I been saying this wrong?
Well, can she docent me when I go there?
Yeah, and it's really fun, and she's so knowledgeable, and it's great. Like the way they do it at the museum is they pick 4 or 5 different pieces of art in different areas of the museum that all have some kind of common theme, and she does it with all adults and kids, but mostly like high school kids on tours for school and stuff like that. So she'll do a concept like social justice, and she'll have them like talk about
How it applies in
in each thing, or like
That's
what's
cool.
the message that's being sent? Who do you think the artist is in this one, and what's the a lot of like Latin American art, and like during a time of a lot of like revolution and things like that. So it's really cool.
Wow.
And she always tests it on me and takes me there and goes like, "What do you think?"
I'd
so I
love
get to
to
like
go
talk
next
about.
time.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it would be so fun.
We went from dildos to docents.
We sure did. And
This
learned
has
so
been a
much
real
along the
fun
way.
episode,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys.
See you next time.